All right, John here, and tonight I'm joined with my brother Andrew.
What's going on, guys? It's been a while. It's been too
Yeah,
long.
it's been a minute,
Yeah.
and tonight we're going to talk about Cobra Kai season one,
Yeah.
and this is a request from Wildmanbeyond, a great guy up here. And originally it was just going to be me, and I figured why not be joined with a guest.
hmm
So yeah, I got Andrew for this.
Yeah. Which is good because I also love Cobra Kai. One of my favorite TV shows as of right now. So yeah,
And speaking of,
there you go. Yeah. I got a shirt too, but it's not too fitting for me. But John did get it from me for Christmas, which I like. But anyways, I just don't wear it a whole lot. Cobra Kai. So I was
yeah,
gonna
well
wear it,
this
but I was like, maybe not. It's a little too tight.
I got this from Walmart. It was like $8, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. I might have to go back and get that. That's a good shirt.
Yeah, so I mean we got season five coming, and
Oh yeah. Soon. A couple
yeah,
months.
yeah, September, which
Yeah.
is quite soon than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, season four came out in December, and I thought it was gonna be December, another December or January release, but now it's September, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we haven't like I haven't been asked or requested to talk about season two, three, or four. But for this video here, we'll talk about season one.
hmm
And so basically, real quick, the story of the show, the first season, this is 34 years after losing the All Valley Karate Championship. Johnny Lawrence, played by William Zabka, decides to reopen the Cobra Kai dojo while his school adversary, Daniel LaRusso, runs a successful auto business, LaRusso Auto.
hmm
And that's kind of the gist of the first season. But, I guess, and I did kind of write out some questions here for this review to kind of, you know, get into some thoughts here. But the concept of the show,
Um,
like when you first started about it.
uh, Good question, but I want to kind of show off a picture of mine that
Oh, yeah.
got taken back in 2000. It was after season one, so it had to been 2018. But it's me, obviously, William Deckler, aka Jolly Lawrence, and my brother Chris, or I guess our brother. But yeah,
Oh,
so
about to
yeah,
say, showed up real close.
yeah. It's kind of bounce off the monitor, but yeah. So
So, what was that like?
um, it was really cool. He was funny immediately when we because there's a curtain when you're taking professional pictures like this with celebrities. There's like a they're in a box curtain, as you know. And when we first walked in, he's like, oh, we're two big guys. He's like, oh, there's the real karate kids right there. So he was immediately joking. He was really cool and funny, and we talked for a minute. But it's one of those things where there's 200 people in line, so you got to be in and out. But we talked for a minute, and he was really cool. So
Yeah, and I don't know why I didn't go that year because it had been 2018.
I think you did go, didn't you?
No,
I thought you did. Maybe not. Anyways,
but didn't our niece go
yeah, I
that
think
year?
she went. But yeah, they I'm trying to think who else they had. They
Ralph Macchio was there.
was he?
Yeah, because you guys saw him in person, and I asked about him. I was like, and
That's
Chris was
right.
like, yeah, he was short in person, like short guy.
Yeah, I think I remember him like walking by everybody, and everybody was like, kind of screaming and waving at him. But yeah, William Zakpa. I mean, maybe it was the cheapest person to picture, but one of the coolest guys I ever met, especially from the cast. I want to meet more of the cast. There's so many younger people and folks in the show, so I really want to meet them.
Was Martin Cove there?
I don't think so. I don't. I don't think so. I think it may have just been Ralph Macchio, William Zabka, and maybe the guy that plays Miguel. But I don't. I don't think so. I don't think about Martin Cove.
I mean, because you imagine, because when the show first started, it was on YouTube Red,
Yeah, and he was
and
in the
then
finale, so
it got so big that Netflix bought it out.
pick it up. Yeah, yeah. I don't remember. It's been 4 years now, so but yeah, one of my favorite pictures. I want to get more because it's been a few years, but yeah,
Yeah, and now I would like to meet them both. You know,
yeah,
Ralph Macchio, William Zabka, Martin Cove.
yeah. So one day soon, they'll come by.
Yeah,
So
I wish I had went back in that year that you guys would win.
yeah,
I don't know why.
I wish I would have gotten more pictures with like Ralph Macchio, maybe the guy that plays Miguel. Um, yeah,
So,
Anyways,
going back. Oh yeah, you're good. So go back to the concept of the show. Like, I guess because this is around the time for people out there. Remember that video where, and I know you know what I'm talking about. The whole video where the guy kind of it's the fan theory, about Daniel being the real bully of the Karate
Mhm.
Kid and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and that's kind of how this show came about. And the creators of the show, I know they're big fans of the franchise, and I've seen that video before. For me, I don't really buy into the theory.
Yeah.
Um, but what you're, I guess, getting to the concept of the show and all that. I mean,
Um, I remember in 2018 when the first trailer popped out. I was so kind of confused. I was like, is it? I was like, what is it based? Is it based on just them kind of growing up, or is it, is it them meeting after 30 years? Yeah, I wasn't too sure, and I was also kind of a skeptic, because a lot of remakes nowadays are not that good, as you know,
yeah,
especially with older stuff like 70s, 80s, 90s movies. When you try to remake something, it's just not as good. So obviously, I think you were probably more skeptical than I was, because we both love the original Karate Kid film, but obviously we were both skeptical. But I mean, it turned out to be a good show, especially the first season. So I mean, I like the concept. 30 years later, and it's not just about Johnny and Daniel. It's about their kids, about where they've been the past 30 years. So I mean, I think it's a really cool idea. I like it.
and the fear that I had was okay. Now we're going to touch on that whole theory, and that this is because now the roles have switched,
Yeah.
kind of for this series where now we're cheering for Johnny, which is weird to say, but William Zabka does a really good job, and we'll talk more about that in the cast.
Yeah.
Ralph Macchio, his character's grown up. He owns an auto business,
Hmm.
and like I said, it's kind of a weird reversal because now we're cheering for the guy that bullied the character that we love in the original.
Yeah. So
So I'm like,
it feels weird because usually you're cheering on the good guy. I'm not saying Johnny is a real bad guy, but you're always cheering on the good guy, especially in the first Karate Kid movie. You're cheering on Daniel, but then we have this TV show. All you're seeing is Cobra Kai winning. We got the first season where they won the finale, the tournament, and then you got fourth season. Spoiler if anybody hasn't watched the fourth season yet, but they won the tournament again. So it's so weird to me. I don't know about you, but it's so weird to see the actual bad side, or the negative side win. You know what I'm saying? It's different, and I like it, but it's really different for me. It's
yeah,
really
and
weird.
it's funny because they do actually. I think it was in the second season where they actually address, or somebody there was like a crowd scene, and somebody had yelled at Daniel, "You are the real bully."
Season 3,
They
episode
made
1.
a joke out of it. Okay, so you remember
Yep.
precisely.
Yeah. This is how big of a fan I am. I've watched season 3 probably 3 or 4 times, and that was one of my favorite scenes. What After watching that scene that you're talking about where he stands up, it was in the gymnasium, the first season of season 3. I remember watching that and just like laughing so hard. I'm like, they really inserted that meme in there. It was just so perfect. It fits so good too.
But yeah, the concept of the show, I mean, that was the fear that I had going in was I'm like, okay, they're really going to expand on this. But getting to the cast of the characters, I mean, I mentioned, William Zabka. To me, he really does a good job here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think, well, um, I think everybody delivers.
Yeah.
I think everybody really does a good part, and everybody kind of plays the role, and everything just fits perfectly. I'm not saying every episode is great, every season is great, but I think the cast they have right now is really good and fits together.
Yeah. And William Zabka, the one thing that I really enjoy is sort of he brings that 80s attitude to the new generation
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where he's very much against the woke, if you want to say,
He
and
doesn't.
all the ideology
Yeah,
that's happening in the world now.
he doesn't know how to work social media.
Yeah.
Instead of hashtag, it's hash brown.
Like in the first season, there's this one moment where in the finale episode, and where this guy is like, in the tournament, he's like, "Can we have a moment of silence for intolerance?" And Johnny's like, kick this pansy bitch
Yeah.
or something like that. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay,
We got
this
like
is
yes sensei.
refreshing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's like, I just want to fight and get on. But yeah.
yeah,
That's so
but
Johnny Lawrence.
yeah,
But
and
it's
the
like
and the fact that he watches Iron Eagle. I know you don't know what that is,
I've
but
never seen it, but yeah.
he
And
watches that movie in the first season like a couple of times.
and what was the other movie? Was it Top Gun? The first one?
Well, Iron Eagle is sort of like Top Gun.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know
It's
nothing. I don't know.
oh, you're good. I mean, but that's the one movie he would watch.
Yeah.
But Ralph Macchio, Danny LaRusso, which the guy doesn't age.
No. I mean he's what? 50 no, 60 something, right?
61.
I mean it's crazy. I mean, and the guy that plays Terry Silver, he's what, same age and he looks older
A
than
year or two younger than Ralph Macchio, and Ralph Macchio looks better.
it's just crazy. I'm saying everything just kind of fits. And
I
it's
mean,
still go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's Macchio's secret? I mean,
Yeah, I know. It's just like Keanu Reeves, what kind of magic pill they take, to keep young.
they're both drinking from the same fountain, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, Ralph Macchio does a really good job as Daniel, and
Yeah.
at the beginning, you kind of the impression you get a little bit is that he's a bit stuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Being that he owns his business, he's doing a whole lot better than Johnny. But
Yeah.
as the story moves along and the season, he gets more humbled.
Yeah.
He's kind of brought back down to, that
Back
hey,
to
I'm not a perfect person.
yeah, to where he was and
Yeah,
yeah. So
and but the other supporting people in this cast, the guy that plays Miguel, I can't pronounce his name.
I think I got it. I think it's Sholo married Duenya. I know
Okay,
first name is Sholo, but I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name right. But yeah, Miguel. I think I really like Miguel. Um, I'm really looking forward to season 5. Again, spoilers if anyone hasn't seen season 4, but he goes to Mexico in the finale. So I'm really looking forward to his adventure in Mexico, like where they're going to take that storyline.
and that'll be, yeah. I mean, I like to see what's going to happen there. Like I said, we haven't been asked to review the other seasons, but
Yeah.
if people like this enough. But yeah, he does a good job. Excuse me, I like Diaz, the character Miguel. In the
I need
first,
to. I was gonna say I need to stay in season 1, don't I? I need to stop talking about future
oh,
seasons.
I know you're good. I mean,
But season 1.
but he's a good character.
Oh yeah. He I know I just said I need to stop. I need to keep in season 1, but someone pointed out the other day I saw a video that in the first season Miguel kind of started out as he's kind of what's the word? He's like the anchor or something between Daniel and Johnny. You know what I'm saying? He kind of
Yeah,
in season 1 he started to be kind of a angry, more aggressive Johnny type of fighter. But then as we get to season 4 and then season 5, he's more of a lighthearted, or starting to become more lighthearted, not aggressive. He's starting to learn from Daniel. So I think he's kind of really helping Daniel and Johnny come together,
yeah,
as senseis and as friends. So I really like Miguel in that way. For
yeah.
that
And
reason.
like in the first episode, which people can find on YouTube. I mean, you have the scene where he's getting beat up by the kids outside of the store, and that's where the light switch comes on for Johnny. I like that moment where he beats up the kids. It's a fun scene.
And it's not
But
even. Sorry, let me go.
no, good, good. Go ahead. What are you
I
gonna say?
thought I was gonna say it wasn't even because they were beating up Miguel. It was more of Miguel was pushed on Johnny's car. That's why he stood up. That's why he didn't care about Miguel. He cared about more of his car,
His car. Yeah.
his possessions. Yeah, he was like, all right, you can beat up this kid, but not my car. But anyway, I thought I'd just insert that.
I know, but that was a cool moment. And
Yeah.
but the other people in the cast, you got the character Robbie, played by
Mhm.
Tanner Buchanan.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on him?
I really like him. I would say season 1, I was kind of back and forth with him because it felt like I don't know. Season 1, he didn't really connect with me. It was to me, he didn't really connect with me until like season 2 or 3. I don't know what it was, but season 1, I'm not saying he was a bad character. He just didn't connect with me.
Maybe because they kind of played on that troublesome teen thing.
Maybe I guess, but But as I'm saying, like he started connecting with me more, season 2, 3, and 4 even. Yeah, season 1 I thought he was okay, but
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and that's where basically he's the son of Johnny,
hmm
and his mother had left. Like never spent time with their son Robbie. So
yeah.
Robbie gets into trouble. He steals things. He hangs out with the wrong crowd. So he's that type of character in the first season, pretty much.
Really, really rebellious.
Yeah, rebellious. Yeah,
And then he, yeah, rebellious. And then he, to skip ahead a little bit, but then he joins Miyagi Do to get back at his dad for leaving him and for teaching Miguel karate instead of teaching him.
yeah.
So
And also, you got the character Samantha, played by Mary Mauser, who was the
mhm.
daughter of Daniel Russo,
Yeah,
and I thought she did good too.
yeah. I think I'd probably say I like her more in season 1 than Robbie. I know a lot of people are really back and forth when it comes to just Samantha. I get not so much Mary Mauser, but just more of Samantha, just the way she acts.
Yeah,
Um, people, are just kind of, back and forth with her, not liking her versus liking her. But I think she's okay. I like her. There's definitely scenes where she's not my favorite, but I think she's okay. She's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Gosh, like I don't know. She really.
innocent,
What were you gonna say?
innocent.
Um, I don't know about innocent, but I don't know. She kind of like helps pick this. She kind of helps keeps like everybody up. I don't know if that's the right thing, but I don't know. To me, it just feels like she helps keep everybody up, like everybody light. You know what I'm saying? Not so kind
Like
of.
uplifting kind
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah, yeah. I guess so. I don't know, but yeah,
But that's a good description though.
yeah. I don't know. It seems like to me there's not a whole lot of in season 1. There's a few characters or a couple characters that have that kind of uplifting kind of mentality. And it seems like Samantha Russo is kind of one of those. To me, I don't know about anybody else, but this to me it feels like that way.
Oh, okay. What about the character of Hawk, played by Jacob Bertrand?
I
I think I got his
really like
last
Hawk.
name right.
Bertrand, yeah, I think he does. I really like Hawk. He's probably my second favorite character. Um,
I would say so too.
yeah. Besides, I think Miguel's my first one. I don't know about you, but it's
Mhm.
Miguel then Hawk. But yeah, I really like Hawk's transformation in season 1.
Yeah,
And he's kind of a quiet kid, and then once he gets that Hawk, it's a total flip and motivation and confidence um
flipping
and
the
just
script. Yeah,
yeah,
like
flip
they
the
said.
script, personality. Yeah, I love that moment. It's kind of just, hey, let's put all this aside and let's focus on this new. Yeah, I think as I'm saying earlier, go back to earlier. Everybody really adds um, the piece of the puzzle to the story, and
Mhm.
he's really a big piece to me. He
And the
really
thing
helps.
about it, like a lot of these kids, I mean, for the most part, do a good job acting wise. Like
Yeah,
nobody's over like too much or annoying or.
yeah.
I mean, out of the kids, I mean, okay, we'll mention a couple of more here, but Dimitri, played by, okay, I'm not gonna get this right, but Gianni DeCinzo.
Just seems so. Yeah. I don't mind Dimitri. I wouldn't say he's one of my favorites, but I really liked his storyline in season 4. I like seeing him fight. I like seeing him, especially fight Robbie.
Yeah,
But going back to season like 1, um, I don't know. It's just he's not one of my favorites, but I don't hate him. If that makes any sense, you
he's
know.
more in the background.
He's more of a background, and in season 4 and possibly season 5, he becomes probably more of a main character. But um, there's been a big transformation from season 1 to season 4.
Mhm.
Season 1, honestly, no hate. The guy probably could have done without him. I feel like
Yeah,
to me, he was Hawk's friend, but he didn't really do nothing for the storyline. To me, I don't. To me,
yeah.
not a whole lot. Yeah, I'm starting to like him more and more, especially season 4.
And the character of Aisha, played by Nicole Brown.
Yeah, I didn't like her too much. uh,
Yeah, she was just there.
yeah, it's nothing against her, as an actress, as a character, but to me, she didn't really add anything. And I'm really kind of happy they kind of got rid of her after season 2.
Yeah.
Again, no hate to her. She did an awesome job, but to me, she just didn't add a whole lot. Even as Samantha's friend and a student in Cobra Kai, she just didn't add a whole lot.
Yeah, like if you, and that was just, that's kind of how I felt, just indifferent.
Yeah.
Indifferent. I mean, if you would have, okay, if there was another female character you wanted to recruit, like have the Cobra Kai recruit, you could have gotten one of Samantha's friends that
Yeah.
were in that car that hit Johnny in the first season.
Yeah. And they did bring her back to in season 4, which I did like. That was a really cool to kind of help Samantha in season 4 because she was kind of in I forgot the scene, but I think she was like in a weird mental place in life, and she went to go see one of her friends, which I did like. So it was really cool to see her after all these years. So,
but as far as other side characters and stuff, I'm not going to spend too much on these other characters. But the wife of Daniel in the movie, not the movie, but the show, I thought she did fine.
Mm-hmm. I think she does okay.
The mother of Miguel, she does fine.
Yeah, I like her. She's cute. So, what do you call her?
And the stepfather, the character of Sid, like Johnny's stepfather in the show.
R.I.P. By the way.
Yeah, Ed Asner.
Yeah.
Well-known actor, but
yeah.
What'd you think of that little angle?
What, his stepfather?
Yeah, the stepfather.
I think it was really cool to see. I think it was season 1 and 2. You just watched season 1.
Yeah,
I guess you remember. I think they showed a little bit in season 2, but I think it was really cool to see Johnny's childhood. He didn't. Yeah, he lived in a family that had a lot of money, but his stepfather didn't care about him. He didn't give him a whole lot of money. He cared more about himself and his kid, or his wife. So it was really cool to see kind of how Johnny was raised up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the first Karate Kid, it was just, I guess the first, second, and third, it was just kind of showing us how Daniel was risen up and how good he is. But we never saw anything about Johnny. We just saw him lose, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really see where he came from, as a, growing up and kind of where he was at emotionally and whatnot. But I'm rambling, but yeah, it was really cool seeing, how he grew up.
And that's what, you just actually reminded me of a scene in the first season where Johnny explains his side of what happened on the beach in the first movie, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, like from his.
I don't know if I totally believe in that take, but it's interesting.
Yeah, like he made himself sound like the good guy.
Yeah,
but
even though we know who the good guy is.
Yeah.
We're not gonna, Johnny. You're not gonna play us. You may play Miguel, but you're not gonna play us.
Yeah. And then I think it was season 2 where Daniel was like, "Wait a second, he told you what?" And then he's like, "All right, let me tell you my side story, and then tell you the whole, who the real bully is." So,
but I want to watch season 2 now that we're talking about it.
Yeah, I think. Anyways, go ahead. I was gonna say something, but
no, I was gonna get to the next question. Like throughout the first season, how do you feel about the story and sort of the weaving of different storylines here and the different subplots and stuff?
I should have rewatched season 1 with you because it would have been fresh in my head, but it's been a little while since I've watched it. So, but from what I remember, and please feel free to add, or give me kind of your thoughts so I can kind of think, about it. But from what I remember, it was really cool seeing going from Cobra Kai to Miyagi-Do and kind of watching Robbie and Miguel grow older and learn more from their dojo and their senseis. And then you have, let me kind of sorry, I had a little what do you call it? I kind of go back to the episode, but what do you call it?
We're not going to go episode by episode here for people out there. That's
no.
But
yeah, it was really cool. I'll let you kind of talk about it a little bit so I can kind of refresh my memory. But it's really cool kind of seeing both sides grow up and grow smarter and stronger and in their fighting ways. But I'm sorry, I should have rewatched it because I don't really remember a whole lot about the storylines in season 1. But what did you think about it? So I can kind of you know,
I thought it was interesting to
jump
see
in.
how where Daniel takes in Johnny's son, which they would find out later in the second half of the first season,
Mhm.
because there's a scene where, and I won't get into it too deep, but basically Daniel and Johnny had come back to Daniel's home from a night on the town or going to
Yeah.
the bar or whatever.
Mhm.
And there's a scene where Robbie walks into uh, Daniel's
Daniel.
house,
Yeah.
and Johnny sees him there, gets mad, and but
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like the interconnecting of like different stories here in the first season. I mean, you do get some moments with kids at the school, but it's not. I think the balance is good between what's going on at school per se and
Mhm.
uh, what Johnny's doing with Miguel, what Daniel's doing with Robbie, and some of the other supporting characters. I mean, do get some little other subplots in here. We talked about Johnny and his stepdad,
Yeah.
the relationship between Miguel and his mom, or the LaRusso household, what's going on there. Daniel LaRusso, sort of, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Humbled,
Mhm.
kind of, not not letting his anger get to him,
Yeah.
and kind of finding his way back to like it was in the past, because Miyagi's not there. He doesn't have that guidance. Which there is a very good scene in the first season where he visits the grave of Miyagi.
Yeah.
That's a great scene.
Yeah.
So you
And
got some great scenes like that.
yeah, I love they kind of I don't think they did it much in season 2, but like season 1, and season 3 and 4, they had cut scenes of Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3, where you see Miyagi on the side, and he's like kind of talking to Daniel in his mind, which I really love. I get goosebumps every time I see it.
Mhm.
So it kind of it's like he's still here with us. He's like still guiding Daniel through different obstacles in life and try to help him get through everything, which I kind of like.
Yeah, and so I think for the most part, the balance of different stories and angles throughout the first season, I thought it was all woven carefully and good,
Yeah, yeah,
and nothing was ever too much, or nothing was ever too annoying, or the characters weren't annoying. To me, every character had the moment to shine,
hmm
and Johnny and the way he approaches the new generation, and I really like that. Daniel, even though in the beginning he comes off a bit much, kind of full of himself, but as the show goes along, you know, he's like, I can't let this get to me. I have to bring everything back down, bring everything back to calm and center,
hmm
and stuff like that.
yeah, and kind of like going back when we were seeing Miguel and Robbie, in each other's, and Johnny's and Daniel's dojos, especially Robbie, you're on edge because, as you said, that Johnny doesn't know about Robbie training with Daniel. So until episode 9 or 10, I think it was, you're on edge whole episode. You're like, okay, is he going to find out? And then he fights those two guys at the car dealership. So me personally, now that I think about it, I was on edge for a few episodes until he found out. I was like, oh wow, when did if he's going to find out, how is he going to react? Is he
Yeah,
going to react at the tournament and start fighting Daniel at the tournament? I remember thinking these things when I first watched the first season. So yeah, that was one of the things I liked.
but the next question: what are your thoughts on the music?
Um, so forgive me, it's like the last question. I don't remember a whole lot about the music,
You're
and
good.
I'll just say this about the entire show. I really like the music. Um, and again, it's not like every single episode's choice of music is great, but I think they do a really good job at picking music and picking the right style of how things are flowing, especially fights, the tournaments. Um, action sequences within the dojos, whatnot. I think they do a really good job. It's not over the top. It's not, you know, it's just right. It's balanced, like it should be. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and they
So,
borrow a lot from the movies.
yeah,
The Bill Conti score.
Yeah.
It's used quite a bit in the first season. You get some good '80s music.
Yeah, especially with Johnny being in
Yeah,
the older.
driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the first episode, he's driving in his car and you got the song Head Games.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I know you may not know what I'm talking about, but where he's driving in his car and he's like thinking back uh, in that first episode is kind of a nod to Rocky Four.
I think
But
I think I heard that from somebody. It wasn't you, but I think it was somebody that talked about that.
yeah, so that was cool. And like I said, I think in the first season and then like what you would see in other seasons, great music, uh, the score, using the score from the movies.
Yeah.
So for the most part, it's good.
And keeping that like 80s tone to it. Like we're still back in the 80s. So
even you got that song "Young Hearts" in the first season where Miguel and Samantha go to the
I love that song.
golf and stuff.
Which I think they used in season 3, I think, or season 4 when Allie came back. Yeah, and they used it again. But yeah, I love that song.
What are your thoughts on the choreography?
I love the choreography. And I'll say this: I think we were talking about the other day. Season 1, 2, or 3, they had a certain what's the name of the person that teaches the choreography? Is there a certain name for it? Is it just like a
choreographer?
I get choreographer, stunt person or whatever. But anyways, there was a guy that did season 1, 2, and 3, and then he was let go for season 4 and 5. And I don't know if you saw it, but I saw a different type of fighting style in season 4 and 5, which was it really. I don't know what it was, what really came out to me, but it really jumped out, and I noticed it. I didn't even hear about it until after I watched season 4, and I was like, "Whoa!" It was like totally different once I, watched it. But I'm not saying it was bad. I think that the choreography in the show overall is great, but you could tell in season 4 that it was a new, person teaching the choreography because it was different fighting styles and different scenes. But I think the choreography in the show is amazing. They do a really good job.
Yeah, I did not know that until like you told me the other day. Like I wouldn't have noticed. Now, since you mentioned that, do you think does this feel more scaled back?
That's a good question. I would say it's kind of hard to say because I think that some episodes, where there's fighting scenes, some episodes and scenes are better than others. I think some episodes top past seasons, but I would say it's about the same to me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's worse. I'm not saying it's better. I just say it's about the same, but it is different. I'll say that.
Or maybe they know that Thomason Griffith knows the martial arts. He knows his stuff.
Yeah,
but they're not going to like bring their stuff to
yeah.
the table when he does still delves into that stuff.
Which is really cool. I really like that he's still practicing martial arts.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. But yeah.
But yeah, I've enjoyed the choreography for the most part, and just some scenes here and there that you would get, like some fights between the characters, the kids. I already mentioned the one where Johnny, takes out the kids in the first episode, but
yeah,
without getting into every episode, I think for the choreography for the most part is it's well done.
And I'll say this about the tournament in season 1. The choreography with the fight between Robbie and Miguel, I think it was the final fight scene, felt a little weird to me. I don't know if you remember watching it, but I remember it felt a little. Obviously, the show is not real, but it did feel real. It felt like I was watching a fake fight. I don't know. I could feel that it was weird, but I don't know. It was like that one scene. It felt off, but besides that, I think the season 1 choreography, along with the rest of the series, is amazing.
Okay. So the next question, like, is there anything that like things about the show so far, whether it be from the first season on, that could be improved, or do you have any say cons? Or let's start with the first season since we're talking about that. Like looking back, I know you didn't go back and rewatch, but
yeah, I should have.
From recollection, is there anything that
I would have changed?
Yeah, or improve from the get go? Or
I probably one thing I'm not gonna sit here and hate on this, but one thing I wish we would have seen is Robbie starting off sooner like Miguel. I know because we didn't see Robbie until what, the third episode or something like that,
yeah, third or fourth.
and then he didn't start training until episode 2 later. I'm just like, Miguel started earlier than Robbie, but I know Miguel still won, but it's like he was so equal to him in the tournament. So that was um my what I can remember. That was probably just the one that I could change. I would change is Robbie starting along or close to where or when Miguel started. That's
Yeah.
probably just one of my only things I would change.
And
But
one thing I noticed too, like watching season one, there's a scene where basically these two guys that Robbie's involved with, that the wrong people,
yeah,
and they're gonna rob something at the dealership.
car parts and sell them.
Yeah, and I don't know. For a moment there, it seemed like Robbie was gonna take him in a fight, and I'm like, when did this come up that martial arts and you
Yeah,
haven't been trained yet
or
by Daniel?
yeah.
Or
Well,
I don't know. Maybe it's just a random thing that maybe I'm
that's
getting confused.
no. I see what you're saying, and it was like an episode or two after he started training. So it's and then another thing is like, okay, I get how you learn simple defense, but taking on two guys, I mean, that, it's
Yeah,
totally different story. You know what I'm saying? They,
yeah.
that's the different scenarios. You can take on one guy or at least defend yourself, but two guys, yeah, that's a little maybe much. That's another good point. Thank you for
But
pointing
maybe
that
I'm
out.
just,
But
yeah, I was trying to like remember the scene, and I don't know if I was confusing myself for a second, but
no, yeah, that is something that people on YouTube have picked out. They're like, okay, I get that he knows a little bit of martial arts, karate, whatever, but taking on two guys as a beginner is unrealistic.
yeah.
I know it's a show, but yeah,
But I mean, I can't think of too many things. I mean, there's things that are in regards to story that are better than others. I
no,
mean, little
I mean,
subplots here and there.
yeah,
But that kind of goes with the show. I mean, it kind of goes with any show. I mean, really, I mean, name a show, and I mean, you could say, your favorite show. I mean, I don't know if it's this, but there's other seasons that you prefer than other seasons.
hmm yeah.
I can't. I didn't really think about this question, but I mean, but I don't have too many nitpicks.
Yeah, it's cat Lucy in the background.
Yeah,
Um,
Lucy might have one. She might have a nitpick.
yeah, she's like trying to get in. She's like, let me tell you.
Not enough Terry Silver. That's what she's
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not
She's the
playing.
one.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. It to me, season one, just felt right. There was not a lot of wrongs to it. Everything felt good. It fit together. Again, I'm not saying it's perfect, but I think it was good. Not a lot of bad, subplots or not a bad plot in general. I
Mhm.
think everything worked good, especially season one.
Uh,
Real
Now,
balance.
so the creators of the show, as we know, they love the franchise,
Yeah.
and from the first season, they have woven together some interesting stories throughout the show that doesn't ruin the original movies and the characters. So, as a question, what can the filmmakers learn from the success of Cobra Kai as far as like bringing back, franchises? Because, like you said in the beginning, 9 times out of 10, when they bring back something via remake or reboot or continuation,
Not that
a
good.
lot of times it's going to be crap. It's going to be, you know, it's going to fail. It's going to flop. It's going to fall flat,
Yeah.
or you could just see that they just don't care. So, what are your thoughts?
I would say this.
The cat's in the bag. Yeah.
I don't know if people heard that, but it echoed like 2 3 times in my headphones. But I would say
Okay, Lucy, we're coming. We're almost done. We got one more question.
um I would say know what you're doing and know what you're getting yourself into. You know what I'm saying
Yeah.
just because you're a fan of something doesn't mean you can make it work. You know what I'm saying I'm a big fan of the Flash, but it doesn't mean I can go and write a story, and make it work and make it good and successful. And that's why I really applaud John Hurwitz and Aiden and Craig. I think it's the other guys, like 3 guys, but I really applaud them. They're fans. They knew what they were getting themselves into. They knew how to make it work, and I just really applaud them because they knew what they were doing. Um, a lot of remakes nowadays, it's just people being fans of a movie or show, but they don't know what they're doing or they don't know how to write it. They're big fans and they want to bring it back,
or they
but
don't care.
or they don't care. It's just like you got to know what you're doing, when you want to do something like that. So I really love the show and I really applaud the directors and producers because they actually care about the storyline, the characters, where things are going. Yeah, I mean that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, 9 times out of 10 today, when they bring back something, like a continuation or legacy sequel, that's the new one now. But you see a lot of this happening, and a lot of franchises being brought back. I mean,
Yeah,
we got a new Jurassic World movie coming out and all this stuff, but it
yeah,
seems like a lot of times they just throw it under the bus intentionally, because they want to insult the fans of the original movies,
yeah.
fans of these original characters. I mean, look at Star Wars,
Hmm.
the last three or so movies, the way they killed Han Solo. And I know that's a tangent that I don't want to go too deep into, but
Hmm.
I don't know what you feel about that. But
Yeah, I haven't watched a majority of the Star Wars. I've seen a few of them, but I don't think I've seen the last three. But anyways,
I was going to say with Cobra Kai, that I can see the care and the love for the franchise and the characters.
yeah,
And in terms of creating new characters, I like some of the kids here. For the most part, they do a really good job. Again, they're not annoying or bratty or any of that. And I think that, with the original cast there uh, of Johnny and Daniel, and then Kreese, which we'll talk about in a second, because he appears in the finale.
hmm,
So him coming back, and you get some more faces that will come into play later.
yeah,
I think it definitely helps, and I think the writing is on point, and every story is woven carefully and with care. Well, same thing, but to me everything is good here, and I just wish that filmmakers today, a lot of them, they just take a page from Cobra Kai. I mean, they could take a whole book
yeah,
from Cobra Kai on how to do it right and not do it in a way that is insulting or is malicious.
yeah. And I think I mentioned this a minute ago, but they love the past movies 1, 2, 3,
Even
and
four, I have a
and
feeling.
4. They'll probably come into play soon. They said it's tied into the same universe, same time. I don't know exactly what they said, but yeah, um, they said it was a possibility. Um, but what I really love is them, like how they love the characters and how they keep their personalities the same from the past movies. Daniel, Johnny, Kreese, Terry Silver, Chosen, and just other past characters I can think about. But they do such a good job at keeping their personalities from the past movies and moving them to a TV show. 35 years later, which I really like. I think if they would have changed their personalities, I probably wouldn't like the show as
Yeah,
much. I don't know about you, but I probably wouldn't have liked the show as much. Because it feels like you're still watching the Karate Kid. It feels like it's just been a few months since the first Karate Kid. Because they still have the same personalities and they still act the same.
yeah. Kreese is still the same.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't look really that different.
It's still 1985 to him. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
but I guess that kind of leads to the last question. What are your thoughts on the finale of season one?
I really like the
I guess,
finale.
and I guess like overall thoughts in general,
Yeah.
and
Um,
included.
I I'll just say this, kind of jump into the very last scene of season one finale, but I love seeing Kreese. I think a lot of people knew that he was coming back, especially in later seasons because we weren't too sure about first season. But seeing him come back and walk back in the dojo after all those years I remember kind of jumping up, and maybe you too. I think you were kind of like real excited, but we were just like both seeing Kreese after this many years was just was awesome.
Yeah,
Johnny was shocked.
as soon as we saw that silhouette light up a cigar, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, now it's getting interesting now.
I wonder who it is, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really going backwards in the episode a little bit. I really love the tournament. I love seeing it after this many years. It feels totally different from the original 1984 Cry tournament. I wish, this is kind of a little nitpick maybe. I wish they would have used the same arena, same gym. I think they went back to it in season 3, I think. But it was like kind of totally different. To me, it would have been cool to see like the original gym. I don't know about you, but that would have been really cool. But I love the tournament, but that's just kind of one little nitpick I had, which I thought would have been really cool.
Yeah, and I guess I really enjoyed the finale. It was cool to see Kreese pop up in there. That definitely picks things up, and season 2, like I said, I would like to watch it now that I'm talking about season 1, and just talking about the show makes me excited, and overall, season 1, like I said, I don't have too many complaints. Acting wise, everybody does a good job, from Johnny to Daniel to the supporting cast of the kids in the show, and even little side characters. Like Daniel's wife. I think she does fine. Miguel's mom, and yeah, I think the writing is on point, and the direction is on point, and you know so yeah, I mean that's it's been really good. And the first season, there's a reason why it got so big, to the point that Netflix now pretty much owns it. I mean, right? They
bought it after season 3 was released, I think, or maybe before season 3 was released.
Yeah.
So after season 2.
So, I mean, is there any final thought that you have, or?
I mean, all I got to say is I'm ready for season 5. I love season 1. I think it was what kicked it off. Like you said a second ago, is what kicked it off to an amazing show it is today. I think it was a really good, solid first season, and it's been a great show ever since. Looking forward to season 5, seeing possible characters coming in. So we're gonna have to do some videos on season 5 because I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, and there are definitely more to come. And like I said, it definitely makes me want to go back and rewatch season 2 and 3, which I know season 3 is on DVD now. So
yeah, need to pick it up.
We got to pick that up.
But I do have the first 2 seasons right here. So
show it.
Yeah,
show it to the audience. Yeah,
and there was a I think, was it you that got me this for Christmas?
Yeah, I got that for you Christmas a couple years ago.
Anyways, it said it comes with a headband. I took those off and I lost them.
You lost
the headbands. And I think it was a Miyagi Do and then a Cobra Kai headband. And I don't know what I did with them, but yeah, it was a really cool gift. I mean,
maybe season 4 is going to come with a bonsai tree.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, yeah.
One I see little clippers. Yeah, really cool. There's Kreese's face in the back.
Yeah,
but
Kreese is watching.
Yeah, he's always watching. But yeah, I got to pick up the 3rd season, and then season 4. I know they've already made the DVD, but I don't know when they're going to release it. Yeah, I need to pick up the
probably after the 5th season.
Probably, yeah.
Probably going towards like Christmas or something.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to getting the next seasons. So,
but yeah, this is great to go back and review the first season. And thank you, Andrew, for joining up here and being my guest.
Yeah, no problem. It was fun.
And we're definitely going to get up again for another video here very soon.
Yeah.
But for everybody out there, I just want to say thank you for watching, and sweep the leg.
See you guys. No mercy.
No mercy.